Welcome back, baseball fans, to the summer of 69 and 72 Carryover League in opening days. This would be the 7th, I believe. We're in the American League again with a matchup of two surprise wildcard teams of a year ago. The Texas Rangers at the Kansas City Royals. Both these teams were kind of a Cinderella. However, the outlook for these teams couldn't be more different. Let's start with the Royals, the hosts for this. They just put together a fertile farm system from all the way from 69 to 72 and made some nice transactions and brought guys up from every one of those years, 69 to 72. You got 72 Mayberry and 72 Roger Nelson, 71 Cookie Rojas and 71 Paul Shaw. You got 70 Amos Otis. You got 69 Pat Kelly and Lou Piniella. It's just a well put together team with talent at every year of the 4-year carryover. Now with the Rangers, they find themselves on the cusp of turning from the Washington Senators into the Texas Rangers. They had last year's American League MVP Frank Howard have a career year in this carryover league, and there really is no cavalry coming in to rescue this franchise as the farm system is pretty dry, and they won't have any good players to add to this team for at least 2 or 3 more years when they have to wait for guys like Toby Harrah and Len Randall and Mike Hargrove and Jeff Burrows. They have to wait for these guys to bloom, and they're just not quite ready in this era. So with Texas, they're trying to piece this thing together. They went out and got themselves their ace, their new ace, and starting today, Bill Hands, a 20-game winner in 69, though that would be the highlight of his career. Interestingly enough, their number 2 starter, Bob Johnson, who did very well last year in the playoffs for Kansas City, was acquired from Kansas City because they had too many starters. And the Kansas City Royals today are going to start Roger Nelson, their first-round pick from the 72 season, who exceeds expectations, kind of a one-year wonder, with a WHIP below 1 and an ERA below 2. So it's Bill Hands, Roger Nelson from Kansas City. Let's just get started. Merv Retman leads it off, and he Ks. Bernie Allen, 2-9, triple one's a single. Frank Howard batting third, interestingly. He batted fourth last year. 68 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Mike Epstein, and that is a K. So Nelson strikes out the side in the first. Gets his career off to a good start. Amos Otis, 3-6. Let's take a look at Amos Otis' card. 3-6. Homer 1-7 is a double. Pat Kelly batting second, 6-10. Catcher's card. This is Satriano, who is a 3-6. And ground ball B, so the runner will simply hold. Paul Shaw, 1-6, single 1-4, lines out. And with 2 outs, John Mayberry, 64, is a K. Ken McMullen, 2-7, is a base hit. Tom Satriano, 2-4, flies to right. Reichert, 49, center. And with 2 outs, Ed Stroud, 67, double 1, single. Runs in the corners, 2 outs for Ed Brinkman, and he rolls to third. Bottom of 2, it's Bob Oliver, now the DH. He can play first and third, but Kansas City added a first baseman and a third baseman, so Oliver got displaced, the designated hitter. 1-3 grounds to short. Ed Kirkpatrick, 38, center. Lou Piniella, 2-3, pops out. In the third now, Merv Retman, 5'11", bounces to second. Rojas, a 2-E8 at second base, makes the play. Bernie Allen, 1-5, flies to right. And Frank Howard, 2-3, rolls to third. Rich Severson getting the start today at short. They also have Freddie Patek, but he grounds the second. Cookie Rojas, 4-4 off the Bill Hands card. Homer, 1-17. That is a single because he doesn't have power. Rojas does have power against lefties, interestingly. So Rojas, a C stealer, on at first for Amos Otis. 1-6 is a K. And with 2 outs, Pat Kelly rolls to third. You got a pitcher's duel here between Bill Hands and Roger Nelson. In the 4th, it's Mike Epstein who Ks. Ken McMullen, 59, rolls to second. And Tom Satriano rolls to first. Bottom of the 4th, Paul Shaw, 48, second X. This is Bernie Allen. I believe is a 328. Let's double check that. And he makes the play. John Mayberry, 512, center. X. This is Retman. He's a 3 in center, 2 in the corners, but a 3-9 in center field where he has to play. No other center fielder. And with 2 outs, it's Bob Oliver, 58. Flies to right. We're briskly getting through this game. Opening day. Rick Reichert, 64. Off the Roger Nelson card. Homer, 1-11. Triple the rest. Reichert has power. We have a run. A solo shot for Reichert, and it's 1-0 Rangers. Ed Stroud, short. Ed Brinkman pops to short. And with 2 outs, Merv Retman, 34, short. Bottom of 5 for Bill Hands. Ed Kirkpatrick, 66, lines at third. Lou Piniella, 1-7, double 1-4, it's a base hit. Rich Severson, 38, single 1-2-8, line out, and it's a single. 2 on, 1 out for Rojas. Cookie, 66, pops out, and with 2 outs, it's Amos Otis. 65 is a sky to center field. 1-0 pitcher's duel in the top of the 6th. It's Bernie Allen. 1-4, Homer 1-3, fly ball arrest. He missed it. Frank Howard, 110. Let's take a look at Frank Howard's card. This is the same card he had as an MVP last year. And there was talk of him being traded in the offseason so that Texas could add a bunch of players in return. But the Rangers decided they were just going to run this thing back. They got lucky last year to get in the wild card. They added really great pitchers. Bill Hands, Bob Johnson. They got a great bullpen. And they're just going to try and run this thing back and see if they can sneak into the playoffs. I mean, no sense having a lot of draft picks if there's nobody in your farm system the next couple of years to use those draft picks on. Anyway, Frank Howard singles here. Epstein, 5'10", is a walk. 2 on. Nelson's a starter, 9 also. Ken McMullen, 36, Ks. Satriano, 5'12", second X, but it's Rojas, and he makes the play. Wow, a starter 9, Roger Nelson, with an ERA below 2. That's, on a short case, that puts you as one of the top pitchers in all of baseball. Pat Kelly, 68, pops a second. Paul Shaw, 38, center. And John Mayberry, 39, short. But it's Bill Hands who has the upper hand in a 1-0 lead in the 7th. Reichert, 6'10". He's the difference of the game thus far with a solo shot. It's a grounder to short. Now Severson, not quite the glove of a Patek. He's a 4-30 at short. And he makes the play, though. Ed Stroud, 58, skies to right. Ed Brinkman, 33, pops to short. It's a 1-0 game. Is there any defense to bring in for this team? Not particularly. They could bring in Hank Allen, but they won't. Stretch time here in Kansas City. We have been listening to Ramblin' Jack Elliott. Roll on, buddy, from the archives. 1967 on Folkways, I think. Yeah, nice LP. Here we go. Bottom of the 7th. Bill Hands with a shutout. He's a starter 8, not a starter 9. Bob Oliver, 65, skies the center. Kirkpatrick, 56, skies to right. Lou Piniella, 58, flies to right field. We go to the 8th inning. 1-0 game. Merv Retman, 48, skies to center. Bernie Allen, 2-2, fouls to the catcher. And Frank Howard, 2-6, is a base hit. He reaches on a single. And I think they might pinch run for him with their defense. Actually, they can. They're going to pinch run Dave Nelson for him, and Dave Nelson's going to try a steal, and he steals second base. So Dave Nelson just stole second base as a pinch runner for Frank Howard, and you got Epstein with McMullen on deck. Nelson's going to pitch to him though. Epstein, 56, is a grounder to second, and this is Patek, and he makes the play. So that didn't exactly work. Reichert in left still with 6 outs to go versus Hank Allen, who's a 3-16. Not much defense there. All right, 6 outs to go for Bill Hands, trying to preserve a 1-0 shutout. Rich Severson, 42, rolls with the pitcher. Cookie Rojas, 56, flies to left. And Amos Otis, 311, skies to center field. Wow. A nifty 4-hitter for Bill Hands through 8 innings. 1-0 in the 9th. Roger Nelson can't believe it. He's delivering on the goods. The solo homer is it. He's a starter 9. He's given up 1 run, and here we are, doing what he's supposed to be doing. But he's trailing right now. Ken McMullen, 32. Oh, this is a tough break. Foul to catcher plus injury. Now, I think what can happen is the guy they brought in, Dave Nelson, the pinch run, he can play third? Yes, he can. So he'll just take over from McMullen at third. And actually, that gives an opportunity to get Hank Allen to the game as well. He'll get into the game in the McMullen spot, and he'll play left field. Satriano, 1-6, center. And Reichert with 2 outs, 49. Skies to center field, and here we go, folks. A 1-0 game. Pat Kelly, Paul Shaw, John Mayberry. 2 of these 3 guys are new to Kansas City. Kelly was, of course, here last year, as was Bob Oliver. The guys in between are draft picks. So, Bill Hands against Pat Kelly to lead off the 9th inning. 1-9, Pat Kelly rolls to second base. Paul Shaw, high on-base percentage for Shaw. 2-10, Paul Shaw, let's look at the card. Homer, 1 of 13, double, and he's tied the game with 1 out of the 9th inning. Wow. Tough break for Bill Hands. 2 outs away from a CGSO, and now we're tied at 1. John Mayberry's the batter. 5-10's a walk, and now Hands, clearly frustrated, can break with another base runner. It's Bob Oliver with 1 out of the 9th inning. Oliver, though, flies to left. And with 2 outs, it's Ed Kirkpatrick. 58, Kirkpatrick skies to center field. Now our starter 9s, in this case just Nelson, can pitch 10. And he will. Hands is going to have to leave. He's not a starter 9, he's a starter 8. But Nelson will pitch to Stroud, Brinkman, and Retman here in the 10th inning. Wow. You're a rookie, first-round pick, and your first assignment is go 10 innings. Ed Stroud, 67, base hit off the Nelson card. Is he running out of gas? He's a beast stealer. Brinkman's going to hit and run. Moves the runner up to second base with 1 out. Remember, we pulled Frank Howard, so we don't have that bat coming up. Merv Retman with a runner at second and 1 out. 2-9 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Bernie Allen. 2-8, let's take a look at Bernie Allen's card. He actually had a pretty big year last year in Strat. I've mentioned him many times as a guy who had 8 homers in Strat in a short season. He actually had 8 homers and 261 at-bats in 1970 for the Washington Senators. Here, 2-8 is a double single, and the single will score the run, and the Rangers retake the lead 2-1. Nelson is about to break. He will pitch to Dave Nelson, the other Nelson, Roger Nelson and Dave Nelson. But 65, Dave Nelson, double 1 of 19, gets the double. So you have second and third, and that'll do it for Roger Nelson. Goes 9 2/3. And we need somebody to get Mike Epstein out, a lefty preferably, which will be Bill McCool. Let's take a look at Bill. Not the greatest. One of the weaknesses on this young Royals team is their lefties in the bullpen. So Bill McCool will come on in the 10th. He's got runners at second and third, and Mike Epstein is the batter. The pitch to Epstein. 5-10 off the McCool card is left C. So it's 2-1. Bottom of the 10th. Hands is gone. Hands, though, with his team scoring in the top of the 10th, is the pitcher of record. And now, this excellent, outstanding Texas bullpen. Daryl Knowles, Dick Bosman, Paul Lindblad. They're all very good. We're just going to turn this thing right over to Paul Lindblad. And it's his game here. He's the best of the three. He's got Piniella, who's good against lefties, and then Severson or Patek will pinch hit, and Rojas. So in the 10th inning, Lindblad will face Lou Piniella. And Lou leads off the 10th, 2-9, rolls the 3rd. Severson doesn't have power. Does Patek have power? Freddie doesn't have power against lefties. Yeah, we'll let Severson bat. 5-10 is a K, and with 2 outs, it's all up to Cookie Rojas. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th inning, 35 is a walk. He's a C-stealer. He's a 1-11 runner. And you have Amos Otis. We saw his card earlier, who he led off the game with could have been a home run, and it wasn't, and that's why we're where we're at right now. He didn't get that homer in the first. He has power against lefties. We got a runner at first and 2 outs for Amos Otis. The pitch from Lindblad. 3-6, Amos Otis in the bottom of the 10th. Homer 1-18. He walks it off. Amos Otis 3-6 against a lefty, and heartbreak for the Rangers on opening day. Just a disaster. What a shame for the Rangers there. They had a chance to win this game in the 9th and 10th innings, and they had home runs by the Royals, and the short-term return on investment would seem to suggest that the Royals are ready to go, and it could be a heartbreaking year for the Texas Rangers. Wow, what a game. Amos Otis, walk-off homer in the 10th. It's only 2/3 inning for Lindblad. Let's do the box here. Excellent game. So Bill McCool actually gets the win. He got an out. Everything else charged to Roger Nelson. 9 hits and 2 runs. That were earned with only 1 walk and 6 strikeouts. Lindblad, he gave up a hit, 2 runs, a walk, and a K. And that's a real shame right there. And Bill Hands gets a nice no decision. He gave up 5 hits and a run, that one that came in the 9th. He walked 1 guy and struck out 2 guys. Really crisply well-played game with some pretty heroic moments in the latter frames here. 1-0-0-10, 0-1-0-9 and 2/3, 3-6-2-9, 1-6-2-3. All right, let's see what this does to the year-to-date numbers. We started this season with the bats, and now we're starting to see the pitching come around for a couple of these series. Let's see if we can get our league statistics down a little bit. All right. Royals and Rangers. Great matchup for these two teams. So the Royals hitting 171 with a 180 ERA. And of course, Texas. Yeah, of course, hitting 231 with a 279 ERA. But when we look through the year-to-date so far, we got 28 games clocked in, and we are finally under the 4.50 ERA. We want to get this much lower, though. We would like to get the league ERA down to 4.10, 4.15, 4.05, and the league batting average below 270 to like 265, 260. That will probably happen the more games we play, because you're going to see there's going to be a lot of quality pitchers in this league, but the hitting is going to be iffy in a lot of situations. So that's it today from Texas. From Kansas City, home of the Royals, and I hope you enjoyed the game. We'll see you next time. Okay, so the Royals win the series 3-1. I get the feeling, though, that the Rangers are just going to play tough, gritty all year with a lack of talent. So Game 3 in Texas, they came out and shut the Royals out 8-0. Complete game shutout by number 3 starter Mike Paul. But then they ran out of gas in Game 4, and the Royals win the series 3-1. The Royals are only hitting a 192 with a 2.75 ERA through that series. The Rangers hit 261 with a 3.53. So I just think the Rangers are going to unfortunately be getting a lot of tough luck 1-run losses this year. That's it. Thanks for checking out the Carryover League.